What the? What in the hell? That ain't right. That ain't me. That's the wall. Oh, I can fix this. Here's me. Here's where I am. Hey, Blue Tank, how you doing? Um, right then. Hello. That was the wall. The wall over there, I think. Over in that direction. This camera, sometimes the auto tracking, it loses me and it stops. It ends up staring at a wall. Ugh. Let me tell you what's going on today. So you might have been able to read the starting soon screen, but let me just tell you what's going on. In addition to that, so I had some ideas for this stream kicking around, but nothing I was really like 100% in on. And then yesterday, I saw on a Discord posted by one Killer Kid Clever. Shout out to Killer Kid Clever. He posted this trailer for this game here, Super Dungeon Maker. And I saw that and I went, oh, I like Super Mario Maker a whole lot. This kind of looks like a Zelda Maker. So I thought, well, I gotta buy that right now. We gotta try it out. We gotta see if it's cool. And I will note that this is on Nintendo Switch. Apparently it's still in development. I didn't know you could just sell beta versions of software on Nintendo Switch. But I guess Nintendo's not going to stop you from putting a little warning that says like, hey, you know this thing you bought off the store with I believe, let me see. Ah, Pikmin are being thrown at me. Oh no. Very good. Thank you, Blue Tank. Let me look at the store page real fast. I'm curious because I did not see anything on the store page that said, hey, this is a beta. But let me see. I'm curious now since it's hedging a little bit. I want to check. Let's see. It's in recent releases, so it is what I would call released. Does it say it's a beta here? Let's scroll down a little bit. Read more. Dungeon editor, share your. Okay, here's the pitch. Choose how many levels, enemies, secret rooms, traps, and items you want. Challenge your friends to master the dungeon, or play the countless dungeons of the community. Probably not so countless yet, I would assume, it being out for like 2 days. Dungeon editor, you can share them. You can have unlimited creativity, and you can play on the go. Nothing here in the store page says it's a beta. Which I think is interesting if you're gonna say it's a beta once you actually bought it. I would say that's kind of bad practice right there. Hello? Anyway, all that aside, I want to check it out and see if it's cool. So let's hit the start playing button, and we'll start playing soon. But first off, want to say a couple of things. First off, thank you to Chunky Norris and Doback. They followed after the raid on Monday, which was very nice of them. They were involved. They were like guests on the stream we raided, which was Briggs' stream, and they had a look at mine and said, "Oh, well, you play like a lot of Nintendo stuff. We're into that," and they dropped the follow, which I thought was very kind, and I appreciate that. And I always like to shout out people who follow between streams because it's not like there's an unthinkable number of them, typically. Anyway, other than that, I wanted to bring up a few things up top as I do. Just a few things. First off, it's Star Wars today. It's Star Wars Day today right now. You know that? It's Star Wars Day. Happy Star Wars Day, everyone. That's right, May 4th. That is the date. It's a Star Wars. It's a whole Star Wars thing. It's just the day that it is. You could say it's EA Sports. It's in the game. I don't think that has anything to do with Star Wars. Or you're talking about the warning, maybe, Blue Tank. The warning up top. Gotcha. That works. Happy Star Wars Day, everyone. May the 4th is the day that it is. That's right. I did a little HDMI setup rewiring. That's maybe why this wasn't at like 8 p.m. sharp. Turns out when you start unplugging and replugging HDMI wires like an hour before the stream, sometimes the switch does not work right off the gate until you power cycle a few things. But yeah, basically I put my computer going out to a switcher or like a splitter before it goes into the splitter botch, and then it goes into two places. It goes into the splitter where it can, work like it did before, but it also goes directly into the TV. So if I wanted to just like put the PC on the TV without necessarily like stopping capture, I could do so. I can do so now. Like, let me do it right now, even though you won't be able to see, so this will make no difference to you, which is nice. So if I ever need to like check on the OBS in a way that is like convenient, I can do so now without showing y'all my OBS and causing a lot of weird switching over, which happens if I do it that way. Also, this should mean the end of like handshake stuff, because the PC is just permanently connected to the switcher or to the splitter, and it's not like disconnecting and reconnecting every time I switch inputs now. So, I don't know if anyone else deals with like when they turn on or off the TV or change the, or they like switch it from on and off like the PC setting, like with the PC going like to a black screen for like a minute. That problem is solved by putting a splitter in between the TV and the thing that always is connected to it. And I've had this set up for about a half hour, and I think it's pretty sick. I'm really happy so far with that. Next up, next Thursday's stream will be Tears of the Kingdom. That's going to be coming out next Thursday at like 11 p.m. Central. So we'll be starting the stream probably around 11 p.m. Central. Unless I choose to do some sort of pre-show, which I don't know what that would be. I would have to think about that. Maybe we'll think about that and come up with a pre-show idea like Minish Cap or something. I could do Minish Cap Randomizer or something. That wouldn't be too bad. But that would be fun. But that's the plan. Next Thursday, Tears of the Kingdom. We'll be starting it at 11 p.m. Central. That'll be fun. That game's gonna be sick. That's all the up stuff front I had. And, I do have other cards prepared, but honestly, the last, like, 2 Thursdays, I've done Thursday streams that were pretty much focused on tasks. And that means that I don't have to make any more cards for, like, Friday's stream, which turns out to be pretty convenient for me. So, honestly, if we can just focus on what's up with this game, playing it, figuring out what's up with it, maybe building a dungeon or something, I think that'd be cool. How was my day? A bit long, actually. It's been a busy week, I'll say, and I am ready for the weekend after tomorrow. My sleep schedule has been a little screwy, but I'm still taking the melatonin, and I think that's been working out pretty good. Let's try out this Super Dungeon Maker. I'm gonna hit the A button on this controller, and let's find out what's up. Let's play some of it, see how it feels. Part of the thing that makes Mario Maker so good is that it feels fucking fantastic. It has a really good game feel, and that's something that you can't, at least I wouldn't say about like Little Big Planet, for instance. And part of the reason why Little Big Planet sort of suffers a little bit relative. The sound effects seem a little bit low to me. I don't know how you're hearing it, but you know what? Let's turn the music down. How about I turn the music down like to there and try turning the capture up to like, go say there-ish? Okay, how's this? Can you hear me still? It's kind of weird how the sword sound effects and like your player sound effects are really quiet, but that slime guy has some pretty loud splats. Yeah, I think we're good. Capitan. Okay, so hits are a lot louder than... Oh, wait, what? Is that an enemy? Oh, okay, we just have to... When you're close up, he's gonna... I'm gonna turn down the ambient a little and also... Like... There. Like a weird knocking... There's now a weird knocking noise in real life. Sorry if I'm getting distracted. It almost sounds like someone's hammering something somewhere else in the building. Or the pipes are being very loud. The pipes have been a little bit loud recently. So I fear to be some sort of chicken man. When you sword, you have to sort of stop a little bit. Your movement is sort of halted just a tad. I wonder if you can push like certain blocks, like in Zelda. Yeah, 8 p.m. perfect time to start doing some hammering. I say that as someone who just did HDMI stuff at like 7:30. HDMI stuff doesn't involve hammering though, so you know, I feel pretty good about that. I think we can push some of these things. Oh wait. Oh yes, you can, and when you can, it highlights them and says like A button. You think these are one-use sliders? Oh, weird. They're not one-use sliders. They're one-direction sliders. They only go one way. I wonder if you can get like something that lets you break pots. Okay, that's classic. First impressions, the game feel isn't quite as tight as Zelda is, obviously. I say obviously, but, you know, maybe it's not so obvious. I don't think it quite measures up to Zelda, but it's not bad, and it seems to have all the pieces you would need to, like, make a decent dungeon. Certainly, you know, Zelda has had... I say certainly. Zelda has had, like, a thing or two that is, like, adjacent to this. You know, like in, I think, Link Between Worlds, there was like a mode where you could customize, like, different rooms. Choose rooms in a dungeon, but you couldn't, like, design them piecemeal. Which I'm assuming that you can do here. What's your favorite game? That would be either Super Mario Odyssey or DKC 2. In my head, I would say that those two are tied for first. You know, those two are the top two. And any other game is, like, only in the vicinity, not quite there. Okay, I got a dodge roll. It's on L. Oh, I've had a shield this whole time. That's on R. What's on the shoulders? LZ is a math. Okay. And RZ is nothing. What? You can rewind time with minus. Okay. That's pretty, like... I wouldn't necessarily say that that's, like... Oh, I can roll over the things, can I? Ah, look at that. We're learning. That's not bad. You know, you got a little bit of, like, Metroidvania type business here in this, like, default example one they're starting you in. Just to show you, like, yeah, you can put an item and then put a gap that you can only get through with the item. Pikmin 2 is maybe your favorite? Dang. Pikmin 2 is pretty good. I've been replaying that recently, as you may know, Blue Tank. That's my, Monday stream right now. All the Pikmin games. You roll over spikes. Yeah, you can. The roll is pretty powerful. I wonder if there's, like, different versions of the roll you can put in your dungeon. If you want a roll that doesn't go across gaps, let's say. Let's turn down the ambient effects a bit. I think that's like the torch sounds. I don't think we need loud torches. Oh yeah, you're making a mod for it. You mentioned that, you mentioned that the other day. You came by and asked for, That's right, you're putting, like, a thing, that references me in there, as well as other, people who have streamed the Pikmin games. That'll be neat. Sounds cool. I guess I will be an Easter egg in 2 games now with that. I say 2. I guess a hack isn't a game. There is one other, which is that I did like a contest like 10 years ago or something to be on a collectible in a indie 3D platformer that never came out, Lobo Destroyo. I don't know what happened to that, but, you know, presumably there's, like, one guy who's maybe working on it. This dungeon seems okay. I wonder, like... Playing through this dungeon does make me think, like... Okay, what's the limit of how cool you can make a dungeon? Because, like, this dungeon seems like the most okay Zelda dungeon you've ever played, right? Most like, yeah, this is Zelda-y. You run around, you hit enemies, there's, like, reasonably good, like, there's no boss, so you just exit the dungeon? Okay. There's, like, an overworld? When do I make a dungeon? And when you leave the dungeon, all your items are, dunzo. Is it just me, or... I feel like the animation, maybe, is making it look like the frame rate could be higher, I don't know. That might be my imagination, though. I'm not really good with frame rate stuff. I usually can't tell the difference between, like, 30 and 60 frames a second, or inconsistent frame rates. This might have an inconsistent frame rate, if I'm noticing it. What are we doing here? How much do you want treasure to be worth and weight? How much do you want treasure to be worth and weight? Max is 500 to 1K. 700. I'll say, wait. 700 and, let's say, nice even number. 45. How's that? 45 is a good number. That's cool, Blue Tank. Yeah. Blue Tank just asking for the parameters of the treasure that'll be linked to me in that mod he's making. Switch to build mode with minus and paint some floor with A. Whoa! That's sort of a loud sound effect right there. Dang. Okay. Paint some floor. Oh, and so B is like an erase right now, and A is like a paint. So you can use B to like get some. So you can paint some floor and then erase some floor, etc. I would say that the sound effects could use a little bit of a pass as far as loudness of each relative sound effect goes. Thank you for helping out. I just remembered you could have pressed L to undo last change. So there's, yeah, you can undo as you go. There's pits over here. Can you put in items? Can I just do that right now? Yes, I can. Okay, so here's like environmental stuff. Here's like dungeon items. Like here's some flippers, bombs. I don't know what that is. That's the dodge roll. You can put a shield, key, boss key, regular key, big chest, little chest, map, compass. Pretty straightforward. Enemies, a whole bunch of enemy options. Actually, not that many on the grand scheme of things. I wonder, can you like hold them down and like change them at all? You can use X to copy, or whoa, X is like a fill. Okay, that's kind of well, that's too many of them. That's too many of them. That's fun. That's kind of funny how it works like that. I'm kind of like concerned off the bat of just like seeing 16 enemies. I feel like if you want to make interesting dungeons, you're gonna need more than 16, and 3 of them are bosses. Again, though, this is a beta, so perhaps they will change it over time. And, you know, they'll change it over time and change things up. Okay, press ZL to switch to the object layer and A to place a doorway. The 3 choices. Right, I already went to the object layer before. Doorway, right? Oh. Like the perfect portable system. Oh, that works. Sure. Make it like a faux DS. That'd be good. We need a key. Let's not just build a key, let's just build, you know, we're in tutorial mode here, but let's build like a whole fucking thing. I want to build a whole fucking room that's like a challenge. But, like, you know, like you would want in a game like this. Not simply like, oh, give me a key. So how can we build a challenge here? What do you want to call it? I liked portable, perfect portable system. That's not bad. That's like subtle, you know. I'll take that. Obviously, you know, if it's Pikmin, you know, the names are not just like vanilla names. There's something weird, you know. There's something like particular. Okay, can I put in like a weapon that is like a ranged weapon? No problem, Blue Tank. Don't worry about it. Do it whenever you. You know, I'm not saying this as in do it now, but I'm just answering questions, you know, as I do. How can we do this? How about, okay, here's how we can do it. Okay, so we're gonna have like an on-off thing here. Let's do some on-off business. That's easy enough. Now, I've done a good amount of Mario making, so maybe some of this will become intuitively. Well, let's say have the room go up here. You'll have to like okay, let's see now. Put some blue, some more water here. Put some blue. Right, you have to make a path before you start laying down objects. And now we'll do the objects now. We'll lay some blue down. Push this. What is this? Oh, this isn't water. This is like pavement. Okay, where's the water, though? There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and add some more of these. How do I get B? B is delete. Best Zelda game, in my opinion, Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask is my favorite. The water didn't take. We can just use the fill tool. Works perfectly. Same? That's nice. Yeah, I agree. I agree with myself, I guess. Saying. Okay, let's see. Now put one of these dooley-doos right here. And we're gonna need some sort of projectile, so... So let's see now. Have a big chest like right here. Where can we put a big chest? We'll put it, tell you what, we'll put a big chest, over here. In the big chest, we'll put... What is this? Can we not put the big chest in the big... Okay, here we go. Oh, big chest does not open without a key of some sort. Okay. I don't know what this is. I assume it's some sort of projectile. Let's find out. Oh, it's a grappling hook. That makes sense. You like the mass system? Yeah, it's a good system. You know, it's one of the few Zeldas where you have, like, alternate forms, you assume. Okay, this is kind of vanilla. I say kind of. It's, like, entirely, basic so far. Tell you what, we're gonna put this over here. Then I'm going to add a, wall. Wall here. And, wait, can you, like, grapple the walls or something? Crap, wait. It's kind of annoying how you, like, lose the items. So you have to, like, you know... What? Also, you can't just overwrite an item by placing it on top of another item. Okay. What? Oh, wait, what? The item ends up being placed, like, below it, so if you're... You can't actually get to that side. You can't actually do a thing. Okay. Can you, like, grapple onto the... It's not a solid object. Okay, you know what? Make this a wall. I think that looks a little weird, but whatever. What do you think a grapple point is here? Think you can grapple onto this? Okay, yeah, you can grapple onto this. Are there, like, static grapple points that aren't movable? Can you, like, change the way in which these move? I wonder. The mass system and the atmosphere as well. Yeah, it's really fucking good. Because it seems like with this one, you could totally move it into, like, you know, into, like, into the water or something and screw up the way out if, say, this was the setup. I am a bit concerned that we're not... That, like, I don't know that we've made anything fun yet. You know? Maybe that's another secret about Mario Maker, is that, like, oh, it's really easy to make fun Mario Maker stuff. Fun Zelda stuff, like, yeah, if you're not careful, it's just, like, it's just walking around, you know? And I worry right now, what we've made is just, like, maybe it'll spice things up if we put in some enemies real fast. Putting some enemies here. How about some grass? Grass. Some grass for no reason. Grass and enemies cannot overlap. Noted. That seems odd to me. Okay, let's go in. Oh, wait a minute. This is not so interesting if they start off like this. So let's switch it around. Put this here. Make it sort of a longer, winding path. Make this one the one that goes up and stops you from grappling. Okay, let's go. So, to get the key, you'll go around here, you'll get the grapple doodad. And you'll have to carefully shoot this thing. Go around. Deal with this grass that has a bunch of guys in it. Carefully walk around here while being very careful not to fall into the water. And, I'm not sure why you wanted to go over here, actually. I forgot. Oh, right, I was gonna put in a key. There's a key, right here. I'll put like a little bit of a wall around it. So if you can grapple it, you know, you can't actually. And, we'll try to make it like a little bit interesting visually, I guess. Make this like a whole rocky beach area, I guess. Okay. Let's try this on for size. Well, I think first off, maybe had it backwards. Maybe it'd be cooler for this area to be the other sort of ground, and have the sandy type of ground be like a beach. But it's fine, whatever. Get the thing, grapple over here. Oh, you cannot grab the key like that. Just grapple over here and let's see now. I always place the key next to the door, but I forgot to make a door. What if I just walked through and kept the key? Okay, we'll do it this way then. Key door right there. Perfect. Cool. We hide our valuable items in chest. Bombs. That's some bombs. Okay, I can do that. Bombs. Let's see how these bombs feel. They're a little slow, I would say. Also, you can only have one of them out at once. Little slow. Want two of them. That's my feedback right now to the dungeon maker people. Oh, there's a crack in this wall. Right, so you need to reach the egg in order to upload the thing. You cannot do that right now. Here's like a different grapple. Oh, you can use torches. Wanted to make these spikes, these chests safe, and place some spikes. Now they are everywhere. They do seem to have some sort of different rhythm to it. How does that work? Look at that, some of them... Now, how do you set that stuff? Looks like each of these items has like a different setting. Oh, you can like just single click and that'll determine whether they're slow, medium, or fast. Or maybe it's just like not slow, medium, fast, more like first, second, third. Oh yeah, some of them are faster. It's not like they're out of sync or something. If only I could fly. What's in this room? We can hide items in chests, but also in pots and grass. Huh. There's the thing. We got a shield. There's the dodge. Key. Alright, a dodge roll will get me into that door. Alright. What happens if you leave the door? It still gets blown up. Okay. You can pick stuff and place it up elsewhere with the tool. or delete it. I think this room is kind of fucked. See if we can navigate through here just with what we got, though. I think we can. This door won't open while there are enemies alive. Yeah, that's like classic Zelda business. And allows you to build things like this where you go into a room and there's a bunch of guys and you have to do a thing. You know, shoot them across the gap. That's like classic Zelda stuff. Alright. Okay, that's some sort of thing. You can deactivate when you place an object or wall directly behind it. Also shield it. Yeah, we know that enemy. Welcome to our menagerie. This is the fork plant. The fork plants. They throw forks at you. Sand crawler. They hide in the ground. Rotten egg. They stink and hide in their shells. Automatic weapon system. Yes. Not that many, I'm not sure, like... Okay, we can zoom up to, like, here. Guess we've seen everything. Okay. Well, that's the tutorial, I guess. Let's finish it. Look at that, we finished the first, tutorial dungeon. Oh, this is like a sandbox that I just walked into. Exit dungeon. I just went through this. I'm good. Don't step in the sandbox again, I guess, is the lesson. Is there like a course world or something here? Okay, here there's like a little hub. Dungeon building. Online dungeons. Did you know you can control the colored barriers with a Switch? Right, with a, not with a Nintendo Switch, with like a, like when you hit them, you know, switch from A to B. What shall we do now? I think that we got like a good idea, like, what's up with it. But I'm not the evil twin. There's some personality here, which is okay. I'll say it doesn't feel as good as Zelda, but it feels okay. You know, like, it feels like the most okay Zelda's clone you could think of, right? Like, maybe around the level of, like, it'll do. You know, which is to say, like, it's alright. It, like, gets the job done. You wouldn't necessarily, like, want to compare it to, like, your favorite Zelda games, but they got, like, the basic idea. I think the goose, the hen, the rooster could be a bit faster. I think that the sword attack could have a little bit more of a panache to it. You know, like, a little louder on the noise, and I think the sound effects need a whole pass, you know, to make some louder and some less loud. What shall we do next? I feel like we already got a good idea what's going on as far as dungeon building goes from that tutorial. So you can easily build out whole things. I'm a little concerned about... So far, I'd say that there doesn't seem to be much in the way of, like, options, you know? Like, with only 16 enemies, how different can any dungeon be from the next? You know, with only this many key items. Like, okay, you can have like a shield, you can have like the ability to swim, you can have a bomb, and you can have one projectile. That's not a lot. There's not even like a arrow ipsy, you know, like forget about covering your basics. You haven't even covered that yet. Which, yeah, I don't know about that. I would say that, you know, like they said at the top, this is still apparently a beta, but like I said at the top, it doesn't say that on the store page, and they didn't say that. I don't think they said that in the trailer either. So, you know, I don't know if you get to hide behind that on a Switch for like multiple reasons. Let's bounce out of here. I'm not in the mood to make a dungeon, and honestly, I don't know where I would begin. We made one room, and it was like decidedly boring. Let's go online and see if we can find some dungeons that are good. All right, we got some dungeons already here. Let's mini golf, awakened tower. Looks like people are making some stuff. I wonder if there's additional item types that you can unlock. Oh, that's weird. The way that the it sounds like there should be an animation, but it's more of just a instantaneous thing. And it's weirdly delayed because I guess it has to load them. It's a good one. Chicken's Awakening. A standard dungeon. Okay, let's try out Chicken's Awakening. Thing I wonder is, like, how good can these dungeons be? Right? With the tools available, I'm a little concerned that, like, you know, basically what we're looking at is going to be like a various shades of just like the default one. You know, I don't even know you can really create sophisticated puzzles with the tools available. You know, we got the bomb that allows us to open the bomb wall. This might be the extent to which puzzles can be done. I don't know. People do amazing things in Mario Maker, but they also have, like, such a large set of tools to use. Also, it feels good as well. Multiple things. Let's see if we can spot anything that's like we haven't. Oh, there's another thing here. Alright, so we learned one thing, which is you can put like a dead end and have it so that the actual answer, the actual way forward is somewhere else. You can sort of create boss rooms by like shrouding everything in fog like this. That sort of works. It's a little limp. It's a little limp. So far. Alright, here's the roll ability. I guess right now there's no like rewind ability. So I guess literally dungeons... Wait. There's no ability to, like, equip things to, like, X or Y. You know what I mean? So, right now, part of the reason why, you know, why there's only 4 items might be because right now there's 4 buttons to deal with, so they're not, like, they're not putting in any... They don't know how they're gonna do it, so such that You know, you could have a bow and arrow. Like, how would that work? Would you have to equip it? You have to go into like an inventory screen. Would it automatically equip? Seems like a whole hassle. And like if you pause, you'll see there's no like inventory screen or nothing. Nothing of the sort. Would we be dodge rolling everywhere? Maybe. Okay, so these are things that break if you spend too long standing on them. You got a shield now. They seem pretty harmless, honestly. Okay. You're gonna have cases where there's water you have to go across. I still have a key. Okay, I need to find a key. Shield can deflect those guys. Playing this and thinking a little bit about, like, Zelda dungeon design, it's making me wonder, like, oh, maybe the reason that they've never done a Zelda Maker doesn't have anything necessarily to do with just, like, you know, with, like, the technical feasibility of it. You know, like, clearly it's something you can figure out given enough interest, right? You know, Mario Maker, obviously, you already have to look at. And, like, you can pull ideas about UX and stuff from that as much as you like. But perhaps the issue is to create a clever and original, like, Zelda dungeon takes a lot more in the way of, like, you know, Zelda dungeons are a lot more about their power-ups, you know? Like, the whole idea of a Zelda dungeon in the modern day is like, okay, I can swim now, right? No, what did I just get? I just got something. Oh, a big... Wait. Okay, I can only rewind to the start of the room. What did I just get? Did I already have the grappling hook? Maybe it was the grappling hook. Okay, yeah, so this isn't a swim gate. This is a grappling gate. Gotcha. Zelda dungeons are so much about the item, and that's why usually in a Zelda game, you want a bespoke item in the middle of the dungeon. So, you know, you navigate the dungeon without the item for half of it, and then you get to the end and suddenly you have to, you know, do everything with it and navigate those same spaces, but with the help of an item that changes those spaces significantly. And with only a grappling hook, bombs, and a dodge roll as your only items, I'm not sure, like... I died, but it's fine. I'm not sure, like, how much originality... I'm not sure, like, how much each dungeon can be different. But this is a basic dungeon. You know, it said so on the description. This is a basic, normal dungeon. Perhaps we'll find some that are, like, different from the norm. That felt like cheesing. I sort of stood on top of him as I did those last two stabs. Whatever, I'll take it. There was a whole menu there. There you go, you get a like. Yeah, you can use my display name. That's fine. There you go, Chicken's Awakening. Get a like. That was confidently done. Let's see the chasms of fuck you. Chasms of fuck you. What? Okay, so there's like down and up. You can go up and down floors and such. These stairs and look awkwardly placed though. Now what? Why did it take so long to come up there? That was weird. Okay, well, this is different. I have to open chests and find keys. I guess you can, like, you know, go off a clue of, like, anything that's where you couldn't get the key can't be the thing. You know, because it releases... The chests, they don't just open. They leave something below the chest. Can you put enemies in chests? Why would you want to? I guess is the question. Same reason you put enemies in question mark blocks. For fun. For funny. You know, and you'd probably want to make it so you couldn't open those chests from, like, below. Or you just have an enemy on top of you. It's not exactly a good experience. Okay, I see what you can do with this. Well, this is certainly a lot more interesting than the last one. Certainly a lot more interesting than the last one, which is just like, you know, basic. Did we already get a key? We don't have to do any of this. Okay, I think we got the key that we need. Yeah, this is appropriately trolly. I was really hoping this would be like I said, I guess it is like a lot to ask people to be able to make a really good Zelda dungeon, especially if you cannot have bespoke items. Like, that's sort of part and parcel with the experience, you know? Items that are bespoke and original, and you can't get through here, can you? Bespoke, original, and lend themselves to puzzles. You know? I have no idea what's over here. Again, like I said, the rooster could be a little faster. Say, what if I did a card while I was walking down this chamber? I do have a couple of cards, though, you know, I'll probably save most of them for tomorrow, I would reckon. Oh, cool, there's a dead end. Well, fortunately, I can rewind time. Looking forward to Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which is apparently this weekend. Perhaps even showings have started now, question mark. Realized today, actually, or like yesterday, realized that was just coming out like immediately, like, you know, this week. Didn't realize that. I didn't know that, like, you know, in Marvel Snap, this current season is based around Guardians of the Galaxy, in due in large part to the new movie coming out, and you know, them wanting to do like synergy with it. But I didn't know it was like this fucking week. So I'll probably see that, you know, over the weekend at some point. Watching a lot of, I guess I've been seeing a lot of movies, you know, as of like, you know, mostly by coincidence recently. Like I saw Sisu last weekend. There was like an anime movie like the week or so before, question mark? There was an anime movie relative. There was Suzume. Suzume was in April sometime. Mario movie was before that. John Wick I saw at some point in between. Been seeing a lot of movies. I think, in fact, if you were to do the math and look at like actual new games I've gotten this year, like actually new ones, not like you know, ports of old games. If you were to like compare and look closely, I think you might find that the game, I think you would see that maybe I've seen more movies this year than I have played new games, which I think is rather unusual for me, at least. Usually I only go out to see like, I don't know, like 2 or 3 movies a year. I'll tell you what's weird. You know what, I'll say another thing. I don't have a card for this, but maybe I should make one for tomorrow, but y'all know that the Dune movie is coming out, right? Dune movie's coming out, right? I was looking at that and thinking like, oh yeah, it's, you know, I had fun watching that. I watched it with my folks because it just came out on HBO Max, and, you know, it's like, okay, I can't wait to watch the second part with my folks or whatever. And then I realized like, oh, well, it's, you see, it's 2023. We're not doing that thing anymore. We got a raid from, Dion Nao Chong. Thank you for the raid, Dion. How you doing? What were you playing? I realized that they're not doing, Dune on, HBO Max like day and date anymore because, you know, pandemic's over or whatever. Kind of a shame, though, because, you know, that's how I watched the first one with my folks, and I would love to see that as I would love to see it the same way like first time, and honestly, I probably will. I'll probably not go out and see it. I'll wait until it's on HBO Max and watch it that way. You're just doing some Monster Train? I played that game. It's pretty good. It's on, you know, it's on whatchamacallit. It's on, what is that? It's on Game Pass. I'm just playing this thing. It's, called, I feel like these noises are very loud. It's called, Game Pass / theme. Yes. Wait, what is going on here? Is it a bug? This is a Dungeon Maker. Super Dungeon Maker. It's like a Super Mario Maker, but for Zelda levels. And it seems, questionable in its, value. What the fuck is going on with this? I keep on coming out of there and just immediately popping back in. What in the hell? I am sad to see it not doing well in sales. Sakurai Idol On. You talking about this game here? This game here? I bought it. I'm like, I'm sort of wondering, like, definitely playing it makes me wonder. We're gonna exit this dungeon. I think I'm soft locked because this dungeon is maybe a bit of a dick dungeon. Like, that was the chasm of fuck you. I'm so sorry, John. We're gonna give it a like. Do you think it will last a long time? No. I think right now my first impression is like, okay, we've done 2 dungeons, sort of, most of. Let's do Zelda level 1. You know what? That'll be an actual remake of an actual Zelda dungeon. Let's see how this thing plays with, like, classic Zelda design that is, like, impeccable. Hey, Sakurai Don, how you doing? Not enjoying it? So far, it's been very basic, and I am definitely wondering, like, how much of a dungeon can you make in this game, right? Because what is core to a dungeon to me in Zelda is like, the most important thing is having a dungeon item. You know, one item that the dungeoning is built around. At least that is the case in, like, everything from, like, you know, from, like, what's the Link to the Past on. From, like, Link to the Past on, you have a dungeon where you're exploring it, and then in the middle of it, you get one big item that changes how you interact with the dungeon, you know? Lets you navigate the item, the item lets you navigate the dungeon in different ways, opens up connections, changes how you approach the whole dungeon, and that is, like, central to it. You know, like, one big bespoke item, and this game has, like, 5 items, and, honestly, I don't know if you can do an interesting dungeon if you don't use all, or, like, most of them, and, that's, to me, I think that's gonna result in some monotonous, like, samey feeling dungeons, which is a concern of mine. I just question what the motivation is to play this for long hours. Yeah, totally. Like, I want to check out some more of these and see if we can find one that's, like, interesting. I have only played the Chasm of Fuck You and Chicken's Awakening, which, you know, aren't the ones with the most likes. Liz Beach Mini Golf is apparently the most popular one. We should maybe try that one out. But first, let's go with this Zelda Level 1. A remake of Zelda Level 1, that's a classic thing. That is made by the dev? Well... Oh, the golf one is. That makes sense, you know. I would hope that they are... Okay, so we're gonna start with the dodge, with swimming, and shield. I didn't know that there's swimming in this dungeon. I think these egg guys are kind of a weird design. Oh, I also think it's kind of weird and limited how few enemies they are. Oh, and the final thing that I was mentioning earlier is that, you know, when you load it up, it does say it's a beta. I had a similar experience when you played an old game called Game Globe. Not a lot of people heard about it, so, you know, it didn't take off. Right, that makes sense. I'll say, by the way, if anyone has, like, a level that they made, a dungeon they made, I'd be willing to check it out. That'd be fine. Maybe that'd be cool thing to do. For this being a beta, I feel it's just so they can cover their asses. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. The only thing that's weird about it is that, you know, I'm playing it on the Switch, and I'll tell you, when you go to buy it on the Switch, there is nothing on the store page that says, this is a beta, which I think kind of invalidates it. You know, you can't just say, like, on, like, a starting page, like, hey, this isn't a full product, by the way. You gotta say that on the store, buddy. You gotta say that when you lay down 16 bucks. I am sorry, that's not how it works. You can't just say, oh, by the way, you can't judge me, this is a beta. Like, that needs to be up front for it to count. Sorry, that's not how it works. But whatever, man, I am a Mario Maker streamer. That's like one of the main stream games that I do, and the one that I have done, like, you know, that I don't like, you know, have as like a sometimes game, you know. So, you know, this is a game I'm gonna play because it's like, oh, it's like the game I like, but you know, Zelda instead. That's neat. Maybe more in concept than principle. The first problem when you saw a review, there was drama between devs and a Discord person. Oh, so like someone on a Discord gave it a not so glowing review, and the dev was kind of upset by that. Something like that. Ugh. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Look, you gotta be... And I'll say again, like, I don't necessarily mean this as a knock against the game. You know, when I say, like, I don't know how this can work without bespoke weapons and items, and you can't, like, make custom items, and you can't have, like, 1,000 of them, right? You know... Like, it's not like Mario where you can make 1,000,000 levels using the same power-ups, right? Like, Zelda dungeons are about the power-ups. You know? It's like if you made a Fireflower dungeon, and you're like, wait, what am I gonna do now? I've made the Fireflower dungeon. Am I gonna make another Fireflower dungeon? That's weird. So you're saying that people are pretty positive on, like, the Discord? Well, that makes sense. That makes sense, you know, like, hey, people on a Discord for a game probably are gonna be in its camp. I'll say this. Right now, playing this, I wonder about the... I don't necessarily wonder about, like, how good this is as a game. And, you know, I have minor quibbles about, like, oh yeah, the sound mixing, I think, is a little... Some sounds are a lot louder than other sounds and stuff. That, I think, could use some improvements and shit. But my main issue, if I had to have an issue... If I had to name an issue, I would say, like, I think there is just a problem with the basic concept. And maybe it's the reason we haven't seen a Zelda maker. Because maybe Zelda, you just can't make a custom... Making a custom dungeon isn't as interesting as making a custom level of Mario Maker. You know, Zelda is traditionally not a level-based game. It's an adventure game where you're traveling places, you're getting items, you're slowly improving, like, Link's capacity and shit. You know, you're not just going through, like, levels so much as you are, like, going places, seeing things, talking to people. It's an RPG in large part, you know? And I guess reviews are kind of negative. I did look, and it seemed like, yeah, I don't know, like, I looked and I saw, like, 2 sources, right? One was, like, Nintendo Informer, who gave it, like a low score, and one was, like, someone else who gave it, like, a high score. So I was like, okay, I don't know if it's gonna be good or bad or not, but I'll give it a try nonetheless. And also, you know, like I said, like, the scope. I do think, if I were to name one problem with this, it's just, like, with the limited selection of items, which... Hey, Lord Bowser. You have another account, huh? I guess you, I assume this is the Lord Bowser I know. I guess you got locked out of your other account again? That's a shame. What hit me? What hit me there? I didn't see what hit me. You remember now? What was I saying? I was saying something about reviews or something. Most people are angry because only chicken? What, like, they want, like, more sprites for the character? I think that's kind of an irrelevant thing, myself. I think that's kind of a non-issue. Personally. Like, I have much more issue with, like, the basic premise, and also, where the fuck am I going now? Right. I don't, I'll say I don't know. Whoa, the map is a little weird. Where the fuck am I? Your only issue is some of the dungeon designs. Yeah, so far... Wait, where am I? Seriously, where am I? Can you just scroll, like, infinitely and, like, lose the map? Can I click the sticks or something and get it back? You're building... Oh, returning chatter. Okay, so that's... I misread the thing on OBS. What it said is returning chatter, not new chatter. You're working on your 2-1 of sorts? Nice. I'll say I was... Yeah, the stream manager's being weird. Okay, yeah, I can see the uptime now. Good. I was thinking about doing a making stream tonight, working on my Mario Maker level. But this game came out and I came up and I said like, oh shit, that's adjacent to what I do here. I gotta check this out. I'll say, you know what I'll say? I'll say like, to me, this is looking like a... it's not a 1 out of 5. That's for sure. It's not as bad as like, recently I tried out, Clive and Wrench, a indie 3D platformer, and that's a 1 out of 5. But this is more like, if I had to put a number on it, I'd say like 3 out of 5. I could see an argument for 2 out of 5 just because of the limited scope, and like the yeah, you know what? Until I see like a good level that's like custom, I don't know that I can say 3 out of 5. I feel like maybe that's giving it a lot of credit. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it seems like you could do something cool in it. I don't know anyone have even... I have yet to confirm that anyone has yet. Maybe it comes in more of a 2, unfortunately. But it's not a 1. The idea is good. The execution seems fine. The issue is more just that, it's maybe just like not possible to make a really, really good Zelda maker without like a lot of bespoke tools. Maybe Zelda isn't about dungeons like this. It's about puzzles and bespoke items and discovery. The art is too bright? It looks like Zelda to me. And you can make dark dungeons in this. Link isn't that different. Like, I don't think Zelda is that different as far as the palette goes. Next week you'll make 2 too. Damn, that's nice, Bowser. Let you know next week. That's cool. Mario Maker will be tomorrow at the normal time, by the way. Okay, this is the beach island, I think, right? Wait, can you, like, hit the thing? Mario Maker. This is the island one that those, like, golf or something, like, the most popular one. The one by the devs. Yeah? This is maybe... What the fuck is that? Oh. It's like some sort of sand trap? If I stand on the sand, I'll get sucked up. That sound effect... Wait, there's still a sound effect going. What the fuck? I guess another big issue is the audio design is a mess. Maybe that also, like, swings it more towards 2 than 3 for me. But yeah, like I said, a lot of it is like, me just looking at this going like, yeah, I just think that, I don't know that you can do it. I don't know that it's possible to make a good Zelda maker without, like, it's yet to be proven. Oh, I see what we're doing here. This is like... This is golf. I guess this said it was golf. I'm in the thing. How do I blow that up? Oh, can I? Oh, you can sword these things and they'll explode. How do I get my ball back? Oh yeah, you use the rewind. You use the rewind function. That is a weird thing in this game, I think, having the rewind function. Also, it doesn't unexplode those things. Wait. So far, this is like the most interesting that this game has been, but also this is like the most mediocre, like, Zelda puzzle imaginable. One that requires like a whole bespoke reset button because it's kind of hooey. And you have to like, I gotta start it all over again. That kind of, you know, it kind of sucks. Congratulations, you made a new Zelda puzzle. It's kind of repetitive and doesn't feel good. Oh no. Oh whoops. Oh god. And again, you know, I'll say like I don't want to dump necessarily on someone who made this, you know. If this was not made by the creator of the game, this would not be like, oh, that's kind of an interesting puzzle, using the thing. If this was not made by the creator of the game, I would say something to the effect of like, well, they cannot control, like, how fast the block moves or how tedious it is to respawn everything, you know, but this is made by the creator of the game, so if they wanted the block to, like, be easy to respawn, they could actually do it. They're the only ones who could actually do it. The deal here. Okay, so I guess, oh, I was about to say that maybe you can't move the pillars off different lands off of different stuff, but you totally can. You can do whatever you want. There's no like stopping the player from cheesing this or doing something weird with it. That's good. It's good when there's like no way to stop the player from doing things. The devs were actively joining streams on launch day, but they're discouraged now. Oh no! Oh no! If I'm reading you right, the basic problem is that maybe they had like really positive expectations for how this would go. Did people like, other people like also react to like the beta thing? That whole beta message? It seems really weird to announce almost retroactively, you know, after you purchased the game, like, heads up, this isn't done yet. I bet a lot of other people. Nobody mentioned it? It doesn't stay on the store page. Again, that's kind of important if you're doing like a beta thing. That's kind of the whole idea of early access. You see it on the thing. You know, I'll say Nintendo doesn't have early access, so maybe part of the problem is that, like, Nintendo doesn't support it. What is the deal here? Do I just have to get the things on the thing once, or what the fuck? This one seems like a weird one because you can just move these things around all you want. It is odd, yeah. This one's a little long, also. You know, people often complain about the timer in Mario Maker. But, you know, if you could make, like, 10-minute Mario Maker stages, you know, like, Mario Maker stages that lasted, like, a half hour on their own, and, you know, or just one stage, I don't think that would be, like, the most appealing thing in the world, you know? You know, I not to say that you know, some levels would benefit from having like a looser timer or whatever, but, or like not killing you so much, but I do think like if you know, like in Mario Maker, right? Here's what I'd say. Here's what I'd say. In Mario Maker, maybe it would be cool if you like had a if you could make it so that the timer was disabled for players, but you still had to finish it within like a set time. You know, like you as the creator, knowing the way through. Like if you as the creator still had to do it in like 500 seconds, I think that would be fair. And would make it so that, you know, it's less frustrating for players playing it, but still, you gotta know in the back of your head, like, okay, well, it's not gonna be, like, absurdly long or anything. I really don't know what's going on here with these keys and these doors. This one seems cool. Let's get out of this one. That's the most interesting one that we've seen so far, but it's also just, like, a very clunky implementation of, like, a decent minigame. Awakened Tower. Is this also by the original... by, like, devs or something? No, this looks like just a person. A vertical labyrinth inspired by Eagle's Tower. Like I said, you know, I don't want to dump on creators. No, that's made by a streamer? Oh, wow, okay. Awakened Tower, you mean? You got the game for free. Oh, got it early, you mean? Maybe. Well, you know, hey, it's just 16 bucks. You know, hey, you know, if maybe I should have... You know what? Maybe I could have asked for it. These guys are indie developers. I have, like, almost 500 followers. Is that enough to start asking for codes? Like, if you're a smaller enough streamer? I wonder if I should start asking for codes. Maybe I should. I could have saved 16 bucks, potentially. Well, whatever. I had 16 bucks. Your friend tried to get Forager for free? Not familiar with Forager. Let's do Awakened Tower. The dev told him he needs to make Forager content first. You mean like make a video about Forager? Yeah, I guess. You know what? I'll say, if you're going to ask for a code and you're a streamer or a journalist or something, you gotta, like... You can't just say, like, okay, this is not for me. Let's just forget I got it. And just, you know, go to the guy and say, like, oh, sorry, never mind. I didn't like it, so I'm not going to do anything with it. I do think that, you know, part of the assumption of getting a code is that you're going to cover the game, you know? At least that's me. I guess, you know, maybe if you find out that shit's like, well, I wouldn't bought it anyway. Imagine getting it for free and then just doing nothing with it. Yeah, that's weird. Part of the underlying... Okay, like, this looks like a real dungeon. These sound effects, again, a bit rough. Looks like there's something going on here as far as, like, you know, there's some on-off blocks going on. Spam emails from the dev saying, like, hey, what's up? That'd be weird. I mean, I wouldn't do that much with it. I think that, you know, from my... He used Legend of Zelda for inspiration. Well, this whole game uses Legend of Zelda for inspiration. There's no shame in that. For my Mario Maker stuff, I often turn to, you know, my favorite platformer, Donkey Kong Country 2 and 3 and the whole lot of them. You know, and look at levels that I would like to make my take on, you know? There's no shame in looking for inspiration. This whole game, directly, you know, literally inspired by Zelda, so, you know, it's just very normal. Some of these transitions, like, are really janky and weird. How can we get across that gap? That's big. Oh, we came back here and now everything's different. Well, not everything's different. One thing is different. This is open to us now. I'll say this is like the best... This is like the most dungeon-y dungeon we've done so far that like has some unique flow to it. Can we like cheese it by like going across a gap or something? This is the best it's been so far. You know what I'll say? I'll say that. This is the most Zelda-y dungeon we've seen, and so far it's been like navigating it like normal style, and I bet we're gonna get a dungeon weapon. We're gonna get some sort of dungeon weapon soonish. Whoopsie daisy. I forgot that I thought the map would be minus. Unfortunately, he had health issues, so he had to leave early. Who did this? The streamer who made this level? That's unfortunate. I'll say like this is a solid-ass level. Maybe you could, you know, maybe with enough time and practice, you could learn to make really good Zelda levels. You know, I'll say like the first Mario Maker level I made was, you know, rather rudimentary, rather just like items popped onto a screen. You know, it took a fair amount of like, you know, learning the ropes and shit before I made actually good levels, you know? And it could just be like, yeah, you need to have like dozens of dungeons under your belt before you can make a really good one, you know? Do you know how every community has that person who climbs high? Climbs high, you mean like is an achiever? The one who gets all the viewers. Oh, okay. So that was the guy for this game, you mean, who had like the biggest streams of this game. Gotcha, huh? Good for him, hey. You know, everyone's gotta have a niche. Well, maybe some people are more general than others, but having a niche is a good thing. Most likely most popular in the Discord, too. Gotcha. That's cool. You haven't joined the Discord? Understandable. When we died, did the on-off blocks, like, revert to the earlier states? Wasn't the on-off blocks, like, the other way? So, do we have to, like, navigate? I'm not sure if we, like, switched an on-off block at some point and that maybe did a thing. I think that's a little awkward. Not gonna lie. Streamer likes his puzzles. Gotcha. You watched him make the level? How long did that take? Probably a while, I would guess. He wanted to make like a Legend of Zelda. Yeah, I think he succeeded so far. 18 hours? That sounds about right. I guess maybe, you know, we messed around a little bit with the building tools like during like the first part of the stream. And I did think it would be like hard to make anything like approach good. Okay, you know what? We're dead again. Let's see. Does the on-off blocks reset when you die? Yes, they do. That's kind of annoying if you built a level that has like on-off block, you know, status as like the main, you know, as like a main progress thing. You can't add a story to a level. Oh yeah, like the tutorial guys in the tutorial area talking at you. You can't add that then. Maybe we should try making a little dungeon. Like a very little dungeon before we end here. I'll say I was considering like, maybe we should like go do some, I don't know, some other game for like an hour or so. You know, my streams usually go like 2 or 3 hours. And I don't know that this game is gonna like hold up for that long. But maybe if we were to make a dungeon, we'd, that'd be interesting, you know? Oh, this is not a on-off thing. What's with the switch? I don't understand what the deal with the switch is yet. Also, that's a thing that would help if you could, like, add in, like, comments or stuff, or something that explained, like, hey, use this switch to do this thing. You know, that would make cases like during the golf, when it's confusing how you're supposed to do it, that would make cases like that more clear. You know, if you have some sort of, like, complicated logic you're trying to get the player to pick up on. Did you do, like, color schemes in this? It seems like the theming is all different in this level versus, like, some of the other ones. I guess you can, right? Tile sets. Yeah, that makes sense. So there is themes. Okay. Can you, like, mix and match them within a single dungeon? Like, go into a room and it's a different tile set or something? I'm gonna guess... No. I'm gonna guess you can't do that. Yeah, you're saying no as well. Maybe you have to hit all the switches. Oh! Hitting the switches makes a key appear. Whoops. I accidentally hit minus, expecting it to be a map, but it's a rewind instead. So I instead redid the room, but badly. Okay. Are key doors marked on the map? Or, like, keys lock things that you could see? Not in-game. Okay, like, little... Oh, wish that every player could look unique, not in-game, but in the profile. Right, in Mario Maker, like, when you can have, like, amiibo, and you can dress up your amiibo. That's totally a thing in Mario Maker. I don't see key doors marked. Is that not... I guess they don't mark that. I guess we're just gonna have to remember where key door was. Another minor point. Hang on, I think I might... Does it feel like a release game? I would say that the breadth of, like, tools available is a little narrow for a released game, for, like, a full thing. And like I said, like, you know, it seems to me like there's only one item for each possible equipment slots. You know, there's one item for L, one item for X, and one item for Y. That's not enough items. And I don't think you can make, like, you know, an infinite variety of Zelda dungeons. You know, for instance, just off one. What's the deal here? There's 2 doors, and you can only choose to open one of them. And there is a rewind function, but you cannot... You can only rewind to the start of a room, so once we go through the door, it's, like, locked in. Where are we? Here we are. Oh, there's no map icons for any floor but the one you're on. That seems weird to me. That seems weird to me that it works like that. Maybe it doesn't matter which way you go. Up has paths that lead to the egg. Let's go that way. You know, it'd be cool. Fairies. Hole in your sock? Yeah, that's no good. You don't want that. I don't like this enemy. I don't like having to attack and then, like, walk away infinitely. And then, like, walk back in. That feels really bad. That's like what I would call a very annoying enemy to fight in a way that's not fun. Like, maybe if you could use, like, certain weapons. I'll say, like, it's a classic Zelda game to have it so that certain weapons are stronger against certain enemies. Right? Wait. Wait, I thought... Huh? I thought there was a path leading to the exit from here. No, in the room below. Okay, one second. I haven't gotten a dungeon item yet. Oh, we need to hit an on-off switch, and then we can go that way. What was I saying? Oh yeah, a classic thing to do in Zelda games is to have it so that a enemy is like vulnerable to certain items. You know, like take the guys with the masks, right? The guys with the steel masks. You can hookshot their masks and their masks come right off, and then you can hit them from whatever way. You can suck them up with like the suck jar, the gust jar, and Minish Cap. You know. There's like options for dealing with enemies that involve like, oh, you know, these are annoying, but when you get this item, it's gonna change how you feel about these guys, you know. But also to have that sort of design, you would need like a lot more than 16 enemy types. You know, you would need like, I don't know, and you would need to mix up like how each enemy responds to each different like assortment of things. What the fuck? Okay, now there's weird. I tried to do a stab before I fell to my death, and it seemed like the animation went off, but it didn't actually toggle the switch. I don't have a problem with it being a chicken, you know, and hey, Link's a bunny in like Link to the Past in the Dark Realm. It doesn't have to mean anything. You know, what species your character is. It's just like a thing, you know? I guess the thing is, if it was a human, it would be, like, too close to, like... We need bombs. It'd be, like, too close to, Zelda. If it was a human. Okay, I have another key, so that means I can go the other way. In that area we were in earlier, which I accessed by going down here. Hang on, I need to turn the on-off the other way. And by the way, if you're wondering why I'm calling it an on-off, that's what it's called in Mario Maker, so that's just what makes sense to my head. You know, call it an on-off. It's an on-off switch. Turns the thing on, turns the thing off. I have like half a heart, so we might die. But that's fine. Hey, can you like stand on top of these things if you were to hit a wall on top of them? Yeah, looks like you just get like shunted off a little bit. Or maybe it, like, undoes or something. I don't have a shield. So I just have to roll through these, I guess. Great. I think this is the most... I'll say again. I'll just keep saying things that maybe I've said before in the stream. But... this is like the most proper Zelda. It is this level health thing. This is like the most proper Zelda dungeon that we've seen yet, and honestly, if I were doing this as like a viewer level stream, right? You know, I'll say like from the perspective of someone who does Mario Maker viewer level streams, I like to give each level like 15 minutes plus 5 last tries. You know, and I think that that's kind of a lot. And later on, I go to the lightning round where I only get, where I only have like 5 tries refreshing at checkpoints, because I think it's fun to keep things moving. In this game, it seems like a viewer level would take somewhere around an hour to do. And that's not even just like, oh, I'm dying a lot. Just, you know, going through the motions of a Zelda dungeon doesn't take 5 minutes, doesn't take 2 minutes. It takes like an hour. And that is, not sure it's good content. Maybe that's just me talking from the perspective of a streamer of Mario Maker. But, like, yeah, this would be very awkward to make, like, a main game, even if it were, like, the most perfect game in the world. Even if it was, like, actual Zelda. You know, even if this was actual Zelda Maker, and, like, it was perfect, you know, like, the Mario Maker team they knocked it out of the park. They made a Zelda maker. How are you gonna get people to play your dungeon when it's 2 hours long? You know? I already have problems getting people to play my levels. My levels are 2 minutes long. And still, like, I feel like getting people to play my level takes a lot of, like, you know, I gotta get it out there, I gotta, like, make a cool-looking video. You know, I like to make a cool-looking video. I promote it on my streams, I show them off, and people see them and go like, oh yeah, these levels look cool, I want to play them. And I go, yes, I got them. But, you know, my levels, that's what I can do with, like, a 2-minute level. With a 1 hour level, man, I cannot imagine convincing people to play a 1 hour level. That's why you like the random level feature in games, because your level can be played. Yeah, that helps as well. I need to, like, have a projectile so I can make that explode. That sucks! Oh my god! Kill me. I do think that discovery is a hard problem to solve in games like this. You know, I think that if I had, like, one criticism of Mario Maker, I would say, like, yeah, my levels are just, like, good old classic traditional levels. There should be a hopper, you know, in Mario Maker that is just filled with other people's, and mine, traditional levels of, like, reasonable challenge, right? Like, I don't think that that's... I would think that it'd be easy to identify such levels, you know, that, like, have good clear rates, that are, like, high but not that high, that have, like, a good relative, like, plays to like ratios. I don't know, it doesn't seem like such a hard problem to solve on paper, but, you know, if you want people to play your level in Mario Maker, you always have to go to, like, Reddit or Twitch, or have some sort of, or Twitter, I guess. Twitter is kind of on the way out, so it's maybe not Twitter anymore in the near future. But you always have to have some way to, like, get the level in front of people, you know? We're gonna need the grapple hook to do this room. And maybe bombs as well. The thing about these pits is they don't look like pits to me. These go down level pits. They look kind of more like grass or gravel to me. Okay, we found a mini-boss. This is very Zelda. But also, I'll say, like, look, I have fought this fucking mini-boss, like, 4 times this stream over the course of, like, 2 hours. I have fought this guy, like... Oh god, there's, like, a second phase to it, too. Because the others suck? Oh my god. I mean, I guess we did fight, like, one of them earlier, and yeah, I guess I would agree that it kind of sucked, the other mini-boss. Can you put, like, heart containers in the level or something? I would like more hearts than 5 for this level, honestly. Suggestion for the creators, for the developers? Heart containers. That'd be cool. Or, like, the option to set, like, different starting states. It was kind of awkward in this one because they just give out, like, a couple of items up top. God damn it. I think the streamer forgot he was making a level in Super Dungeon Maker. I forgot the name of the game for a second there. It's not hard. It's very simple. I mean, look. This may as well be like an indie Zelda Maker. I don't think it, you know, it obviously doesn't, like... You would hope that a Zelda Maker would be a lot more like, you know, robust. But, you know, for what it is, That's what, you know, that's what it's going for. That's what, you know, I think people see when they see the trailer and go like, oh, hey, that looks cool. I played worse, like, procedurally generated, like, custom, like, content games like this. Oh, cool, these guys, they don't despawn after you die. Okay, you know what? Damage is cumulative. That's nice. And it looks like there's some manner of programming where, like, if one guy dies, the rest of them die as well. That's nice. He could just add cosmetics to... This game would be much more likely to survive if it was free to play. Cosmetics for money. Yeah, maybe. That would definitely, like, make it much easier to, like... You know, Mario Maker, obviously... Okay, cool, we got the grappling hook now. That's our item. That's gonna allow us to do some business. Mario Maker obviously has just enough in an install base where it doesn't need to do anything like that. But, you know, if Mario Maker wasn't Mario Maker, you'd be hard-pressed to get enough people to, like, play the game. See you later, Lord Bowser. You have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow for that stream. A demo of 2, 1, and 1C. That's cool, man. Okay, so I got a new item, so I guess I could just... Look at that. I can now traverse the world a little bit. Get across gaps. This is classic Zelda style, where, like, yeah, I got this item, and now I can traverse the world. You know, this, what was once a uncrossable gap is now not one. But again, I'll say, like, for a viewer level to be like 2 hours long, or like maybe an hour long, is rather weird to me. And the idea, like, a whole game of that, I feel like, man, as soon as, like, that's laid bare to me, I can see why they've never made a Super Zelda Maker. You know, it's just not a format that's suited to, like, short levels. Honestly, it turns out. Is the grappling hook all we need to get to the boss fights, or... I'm not sure, but let's have a look. We should try to do, like, some making and post something small. What's, like, a... We should start thinking, like, what's the minimum... One thing I will say is that the theming can be pretty elaborate. Like, you can do a really good job making it feel like an actual place. And I think this game succeeds on that. Oh, can we switch the thing with this? Oh, look at that, we can. That's exactly what we need to do then. What? What's the deal here? I don't see, like, a switch or something to hold the way down to make the things disappear. Are these... Can you do something with, like, these or something? No, I think these are just aesthetics. You know, for decoration. What if I drop down? Oh, cool. Now that is, that area has been locked again because I entered it from the wrong way. Nice. Okay. Fuck. That's maybe not ideal. Look, now with the grapple hook, I can go over here. Look at that, aren't we clever? And we made a compass appear. We got a shield. Allows us to flip guys. Okay, well, there are some, like, items that give vulnerabilities to some guys, some enemies. That's fairly good then. Maybe we'll build our dungeon around. We'll make a little dungeon that is like a short version of this, like that has that sort of progression, you know. But maybe it'll be like based around the shield. Maybe we'll make a dungeon where the shield is the major item. What can we do with that? Can we make that, like, actually good? Honestly, don't know. Not 1000% sure about that. I feel like the odds of me saying 1000% sure go up after watching, you know, Dr. Stone on, Thursdays. Which is, you know, a Thursday show. If I do the stream after watching, I'll probably, you know... I don't feel like I say 1000% all that likely. All that much, usually. Like I'm saying it because of that show. Which is very good, and I'm enjoying it. It's been a very good, like, Thursday thing. No? Very good Thursday thing. That's very descriptive. Yes, a very good thing that you watch on a Thursday. At least that I watch on Thursday. I don't know about y'all. There's like some weird transition stuff around like some of these room transitions. Like, I feel like the room transitions could be sped up a bit. I died again. You're waiting for the next. The next? Okay. There's going to be a next? Ah, jeez. Let's find a shorter one for the next one, if we can. And have that be the last one that we look at, okay? And if you have an idea, like, one that would be good for that, I'll look at it. I sound defeated. I feel defeated. I don't... Yeah... This is a long dungeon. Congratulations, you made a fun Zelda dungeon. That's, like, reasonably good. Yeah, I think still 2 out of 5, and I think that, you know, like I said, it's not a problem. You know, I think that part of the problem is just... As I play this, I realize all the reasons why they've never made a Zelda Maker. You know? And I suddenly realized, like, oh, there's a lot of good reasons you don't make a Zelda Maker and your Mario Maker. Makes perfect sense. Do you want a refund? Nah. I don't usually get refunds on games. You know, like, I really didn't like, oh, here we go. Here's a new thing we can do. I really didn't care for, I didn't care for Clive and Wrench, but I didn't, like, go and seek a refund for that. You know, I just said, like, okay, well, you know, hey, everyone makes mistakes. You know, I learned that it was, you know, I just learned it wasn't for me, and that was enough. You can buy a game on Steam and get a refund in 24 hours. As far as I know, I am playing it on Nintendo Switch. I'm pretty sure Switch does not have that policy. It's fine, I think it makes good content. And, you know, I enjoy looking at a game now and again. And, like, trying it out and seeing, like, it's cool or whatever. Okay, I need to go over there. I need to do all these pillars. Which means I basically have to do... How are you gonna do this? Wait, can you, like, push this? No, wait, these are... Wait a minute. No! I hit the wrong button. And it reversed some things, but not everything. You should be able to hit the button when you're falling and, like, rewind to the previous room. You know, as a rewind function goes, it's kind of fucked up that it's only in the room you're in. and you can't like undo falling if you unintentionally fall. That feels really bad whenever that happens. Again, that part's not a problem with the creator. That's just me saying something that's like the devs could do. Okay, let's see now. Oh, also this stuff. Why isn't it working? Button's a little finicky. Bless you, thank you. I don't know that anyone's ever said bless you when I sneeze. Maybe I sneeze less often than I think. Okay, we can get through there. I see where we can get through there. We can navigate over there. I mean, I don't know that I sneeze all that often. I do often say, Sakurai. Sakura Idol On. That's your name. Sakura. I will say Sakura. I have said before that I am bad at sneezing. That is something I sometimes say. I am bad at sneezing every time I sneeze. God damn it! Need a rewind button that takes you like to a thing. You're so close to 8 to 460 followers. Yeah, I am, aren't I? And you know, beyond that it's like 500, like right around the corner. Which I'll say, by the way, for those who are curious, I do have some plans for like when I get 500 followers. There is a planned stream that I'm going to do where I'm going to be playing a BizHawk stream. You can get me to 460. That's nice of you. If I'm at 456 now. I guess you're saying that I'm at 459. I don't know why I said 6. Thank you for the follow, Sakurai Idol On. Looks like in like when it's all lowercase, it looks like it's Idol Leon, but I can see the capitalization there in the thing in Twitch, you know, in chat. I need to turn the thing to be the other way, the on-off. How do I get to a good on-off for that? It's your real Sakura is your real name? Cool. Good name. I need to switch it on-off to be the other way. Let's head upstairs then. And I guess we'll go this way again. The rewind feature doesn't make that much sense to me as far as like, yeah, you know, you'd want to be able to keep hitting the button and keep going back rooms, you know, rather than just doing it once. I haven't run into a case other than like the one in the dev made room where I only wanted to rewind to like the start of a room. I guess I could do that if I took a fight really badly. How does a viewer get a follow from you? Depends. You know, if I always follow people who raid in. I always think that's nice. I often, you know, if I know someone streams, I will sometimes be like, oh shit, yeah, I'll follow you. You're saying you do some streaming yourself, Sakura. You can raid? Yeah, do a raid sometime. That'd be sick. Oh, I love a good raid. You stream too? What do you stream? I'll tell you, I'm not really like... I know there are streamers who are always like encouraging their viewers. You play Eidolon. Oh, that's a game? I'm not familiar with Eidolon. Eidolon? I'm not familiar myself with that. I guess that's what it feels like when I say to someone like, "Oh, I'm playing Pikmin right now," and they say, "Oh, I've never heard of Pikmin," and I just go like, "Huh? I feel like it's a rather big game. Whatever. I guess, you know, hey, we all hear about different things." Is that like... It's like a mech game, isn't it? Is it like a mech game? I think I might have... Is it a mech game? I feel like that I might have heard Idleon in connection with mechs before. It's an idle game. Oh, idle on. Okay. Maybe Idleon or like something near that is like a Gundam thing or something. Could also be a Gundam thing, I'll say. Okay. It's an RPG. Try. I'll think about it. I'll tell you right now, I'm a little booked up. I've been pretty busy recently. But if I made a list of games I would like look into, I would put it on the list. I don't usually make such lists though. Okay, seriously, how do we get over there? Oh, isn't that just an on-off? I just have to turn off the thing right here and that'll do it. Why was that so hard? I guess I just didn't notice these things were down the last time I was over here. Hearts? It's just hearts? Yes, just hearts. You might get 30 plus viewers if you raid on a weekend. God damn. You must be a very popular streamer. Wow, I'm impressed. I usually get like a high of like 10 during my Mario Maker streams, my viewer level streams. A lot of engagement for those. I usually stream on Fridays, Mondays, and Thursdays. Those are my 3 stream days. Okay, cool. We found a hole that's gonna... This looks like a boss. It's either a mini-boss or an actual boss. Oh, hang on. We can check the map. Well, we're up, like above where the egg is going to be. You got affiliate in like 2 weeks? Damn, that's impressive. Took me a while to get affiliate. Yeah, the right game, you know, the right, you know, there's people looking for streamers of some game, for streams of some games, you know what I mean? Like, I always find that my Mario Maker streams are just, it's just the easiest to get, like, people to come and check out, and, you know, the easiest to get people to, easiest for, like, discoverability, you know? And part of the reason is that, you know, when you're doing viewer levels especially, people will come by and give you viewer levels. You know, there's always people looking for someone with a low amount of streamers to hang out with and to, you know, give their levels to. And, you know, a low streamer count, a low viewer count, that just means a lower weight, typically, you know, which is pretty sick if you're, you know, impatient, which, a little bit impatient, which, you know, I think a lot of people are. I'm pretty impatient. I wouldn't say I have an abundance of patience. That is a weird way to phrase that. Get the thing. At least you talk to viewers. Some people don't do that. I mean, I guess it would be hard to, like, do it if, depending on, like, how many viewers you got. Oh, like a new streamer, so didn't have that many. I think that, like, chat interaction is, like, a big part of Twitch, you know? That's like a big part of it, you know? You see people in chat, you chat with them. If you're big and giant enough, the chat moves so fast, you can't really do that. And I guess at that point, you have to come up with, like, different strategies, different ways of doing things. This sucks, but at least we can just keep walking back to there and retrying it repeatedly. Maybe he just didn't have chat up. This other streamer, you know. Could be easy to, like, miss chat. You know, personally, you know, I'm a couch streamer, so I'm always on the couch, you see. And, where did they... Oh, I can just go up here. Easy. Oh, that's much easier than the way we went last time. The way that, what was I saying? Before I got, like, a preview monitor, playing at the desk, you know, it was hard to read chat at the same time as playing. I would always have to go, like, I'd have to go like this repeatedly. Just go like this repeatedly. You know, you can't really see what I'm looking at. Let me do this thing. Hey, look at this. And actually, I can, like, oh, I can't. The zoom thing doesn't work. I had to go like this repeatedly, you see. I had to go like this. I had to look at the chat on my smartphone. I look cozy? I am cozy. Oh, buddy. Let me tell you, I am very cozy. You know, I always say, I don't know why more people don't stream from the couch other than it's kind of hard to manage it from, you know, not from a desk. You know, the stream and stuff, and also I had to buy a whole second monitor, actually a third monitor that I mounted a monitor on top of like a side desk here. Look at that, we did it. I've left a like. Holy shit, that was a long one. That was like what? Does it tell you like how long it took you to do a dungeon? It should. That's how Mario Maker does it. That was Awakened Tower. Wait. I thought I liked it. I thought I liked this one too. What the fuck? It doesn't like show the like status appropriately? It doesn't like show that you liked it? Weird. Okay, another thing to note, if the developers are watching, make that work. Make it so that it reflects your like status, because it's really annoying for like someone who likes to leave likes, like myself, to look at a level and be like, hang on, I thought I liked that, and find out like, oh, you did like it, it's just not showing it. They are watching but ignoring. Hey, you know. I'm sure it was very hard to put together this game. Okay, this one says short and sweet. It's a Morbius. A Morbius thing. Wait, no, that's Mobius. A Mobius loop is one that is sort of like a strip of paper that goes around in a loop, but instead of just connecting to itself, it turns around and then connects it to itself on the other end, so that the underside connects to the top side, and the top side connects to the underside. So it's sort of a loop that you can go around both sides with without, you know, leaving the thing. That's how a Mobius loop works. There is such a thing as like Mobius coasters, which is basically like a dual-tracked coaster, you know, like a dueling coaster, but one station, you know, one track leads into the station for the other track. So if you wanted to like get the both side experience, you could like stay on the coaster and get like two rides for both rides without like doing anything complicated. This is called Morbius, so that's maybe a completely different concept. Let's find out if it's cool. And then we'll like try making real oh fuck. Fucking hell. Oh my god, that's probably the hardest I've laughed at anything on stream. Holy fuck. Well, I would consider moving it up to a 3 out of 5, but I do think on the whole 2 out of 5 is still probably about right, especially given the technical issues. Oh my god, I'm crying. That was so good. Oh my god. Let's exit dungeon. I said that would be the last one, and I meant it. How can we top that? Jesus Christ. Let's make a dungeon. We're gonna make a dungeon. I'm gonna try to make it like... Here's, I think, the parameters for it. Let's do like 8 rooms. Maybe like in like a 4x4 on one. You clipped it. Thank you very much. I hope it was well cropped. Oh, that's good. I'm gonna find that clip after and post it to the Discord. I like to post clips to the Discord. I have a Discord, you see. I like to post the clips there so that people can watch them and shit. That's gonna be good. Oh my god. Here's the plan. Here's the plan. Okay. Let me do like a section break thing, you know, like I like when I post the VODs to YouTube, I put timestamps, and it's easier to do the timestamps if the sections are clear. It's time to now try to make a level. So here's what I'm thinking. I want to do like 4 rooms. I want to do 8 rooms of a relatively simple arrangement such that you can easily like figure it out and like do the thing. How do you do like how do you do like theming, by the way, like templates or oh, you scroll it over here and then you can select like, okay, so there's like cave, forest. Let's go with snow. Can you paste it here? There's a... Ooh, I like the snow archetype. I don't think we've seen it. The snow archetype this whole stream. I'll find it myself, Sakura. Don't worry about it. You know, you know, as a Twitch streamer, that, you can see, like, you know, as a Twitch streamer, that you can see, like, level, you can see, like, clips people have made. I can find it there. I've already done it. We're not gonna watch it on stream. I gotta, let's keep things moving. Let's make a level. Here's my basic idea. I want to make a level that is a classic Zelda style in miniature, with, like 8 rooms. Sort of in like a, one here, one here, one here, and then on the next floor, another 4. And sort of route you around in an interesting way, such that when you get the shield, that's somehow going to be the item that opens it up. Now, I'm not really sure like what we can do with the shield, such that it actually does that, but I think that sounds like an interesting challenge to me. So let's go, let's do it. Also, we'll put the egg. Where will we put the egg? We'll put the egg in the first room. I think that's interesting. We'll put the egg in the first room, but it'll be behind. It will be behind like a wall of some kind. Your dungeon will be better than anything I've ever seen. Yeah, let's hope. That's, you know, sort of the idea of when you make something, you want it to be fucking good, don't you? At least I do. God damn. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do like a, where's a wall? I just need a basic wall. Can you only do that with, like, deleting? You know what, let's... Yeah, let's do that. Let's just delete. I'd rather it be like a different material if possible. Which one of these is wall? We'll make this a pit, actually. You know what? We'll separate it from a pit, and you will not get the roll in this one. There will be no rolling, no dodge rolling, so won't have to worry about going across it as like a cheese. You know, it'll be... Basically, you'll fall from above. That's how it'll end this level. Let's put some, like... Then delete this. Then, Oh, the D-pad can control the menu while the stick controls the thing. You know, like the cursor on the making side. You ate all your snacks? That's a problem, I suppose. Okay, let's see now. So let's begin. First off, going to have a key door in this room here. I need to put a door in there first, don't I? Door over here. Key door in the thing. Such that you will have to go up first thing. This is all like scenery stuff. Let me see what we got here. Put a little snowman in there. I like the red. I kind of like that. Let's do that. Yeah, that looks nice. Whoa! What the fuck? I didn't expect it to work like that. Oh, also when you undo it, just deletes your fucking shit. That's weird. I wanted to move everything back to where it was. Undo function. Could use some work, I think. Put this here. Put the door here. And we'll add an up. Stairs going up. Where's my key door? I had a key door a second ago. There we go. Can this be like sideways or something? No. Always has to be like straight up, huh? That right here. Go ahead and delete this. Bring this in a little bit. Move this over. Let's make this a little bit narrower. Actually, I think I like it. Oh, that looks... Mess around with the floors a little bit. I think it'll be good. There we go. Put that there. Put this here. Whoa! Not what I meant to do. To copy. How do you copy? Can you copy? I don't know if you can copy. How come I can't put it in this corner here? Oh, it's because the top of the screen. What? I can put it over here. Why not here? Really not sure why I can't tree this corner, but whatever. I'll just make it symmetrical this way. And let's do some messing around with like the floor textures here to like make it a little bit not so samey. You know what? Snow is the default here, and then we'll make the other one like a path. Let's see now. Have a little path going through the snow. Let's see. Okay. So we have basically one path going up and one path going into the thing. You'll have to go up first. This is just like the first room, you know. It's not anything complicated. Not anything unusual. You come in, it's pretty clear where you need to go. Okay, we need to build out this room. Well, that's... How do I go up and down, like, floors, by the way? Do I have to, like, scroll over here and click that? Ugh. That seems not ideal. I feel like there should be a hotkey for it or something. Guess not. Just click, drag over here and click. Okay, so for this room up here, I guess, let me see, let me think. For the shield, let's do a little bit of experimentation here. What mechanics can we use with the shield that otherwise, you know, we can't use? You know, like, what can we do to make a gate that requires the shield? So for key items here, we have doors. Okay, nothing there. What is this? Is that like a kill all the enemies thing that kills enemies that are here? Is that like a death field or something? You know what? I have no idea what that is. Let's just, power field? I have no idea what these things are. Let's ignore them. What is this? I feel like this is some sort of circuitry thing where you can, like, set up circuits or something. I thought I could, like, click one of these and drag. No, I don't see a way we can have the shield be the like, navigation item with the options that I am looking at right now. I mean, certainly we can have it be a critical... I said we could be a critical item, but all I can do is, like, give you a shield and make it so that you can deal with these guys that you have to flip over, you know, and before that you probably just would have to ignore them or, like, try to get them into pits. These guys here. Which ones are they? Where are they? These guys? Yeah, these guys. So, like, these guys, stabbing them does no good. Oh, stabbing them doesn't even do anything. It doesn't even, like, move them, so you can't, like, shunt them into pits or something. All you can do is shield them to kill them. Okay, new plan. The dungeon item is going to be, like, an item that can actually, like, get you across gaps or something. I guess that leaves the bomb, which we've already discussed, kinda sucks. Or the grappling hook, which is alright. It feels like an okay grappling hook, and it's also the only ranged weapon in the game. Let's do, like, shield and grappling hook, and we'll have, like, a bunch of these guys. Hey, by the way, what do these guys... No, nothing with the grappling hook. Okay. How are we gonna do this? So, in this room here, I want to make it so that there's, like, water and shit, right? Water and shit. I want to make it so that on the other side of the water is like a hole that you can intuit will lead to the ending. Let's like crop it in a little bit. Oops. Okay, am I lined up? I don't know if I'm lined up, but let's see. Alright, that works. I guess I should test, like, all the places where you can fall. I think I'm maybe a little bit off here. Like, if I fall from the top, I'm gonna die. That ain't right. I'm just a little bit off. So let's go ahead and, can I, like, do a select tool thing? No? Okay. So we'll do this and delete that and add a little more pit. And yeah, perfect. So you'll see here, like, where exactly you're going, like, around the horn, and it'll be pretty clear, like, what the goal is, hopefully. By the way, I do not intend to check and see, like, how this is going, you know, like, to load the game up and be like, oh yeah, like, are people liking it? I'm just gonna take for granted that they do. I'm not gonna worry about it. Alright, so here, let's add in some enemies here. What enemies are good? I don't think I've seen this fly guy. Oh, I kind of like this idea of just having some ground that's all crumbly and stuff. But let's not have that be the first thing you see. What did I do? What happened? I pasted and everything got weird. Everything's weird again. Also, I thought I fixed the pit thing. Oh, you know what? I had to move that down one, not up one. I am way out of alignment now. This needs to move down, not up. There we go. That's more like it. Let's have it so that this is kind of a long room. And maybe you'll have to, like, get across some gaps here using, like, a tether. Here's an idea. Here's an idea here. Go ahead and, like, make this go a little longer and put the thing, like, at the end. What's the range on the grapple thing? Put this, like, here. And, fire thing that you need to grapple onto. I need a fire thing to grapple onto. Just put, like, a basket. Maybe it's oh, here's the fire thing to grapple onto. Perfect. And again, I feel like kind of defeated insofar as, like, yeah, there's 5 items in the game and you can't, you know, That's good. Even make it a little farther even. Have, like, a weird stretch of some arcane material here. And if you're wondering, like, where I'm going with this, I'm gonna put some enemies here, like, in this vicinity. So you'll have to like grapple to the far side of them, basically. Let's try this out. Oh, that's too far. Okay. Try this again. So he'll have to grapple to the far side of them and then work your way through. I think that's kind of neat. Yeah, that's cool. And that'll be the end. Is that a little tame for the ending? Maybe it's a little tame for the ending. I could make it so that you had to defeat them. Like, that would be an option. Or maybe there's, like, more underground or something. Like, you could add some here that are gonna pop up. Let's try to get this looking right again. What the hell happened here? I tell you, I don't know what happened with the glitchy stuff here. Kind of a shame, really. What in the fuck? God. Looks like all the walls became water. That's weird. You don't want it when all your walls become water. That's, not right. No. Nope. Nope. Not good. Not good at all. Can I make, like, a bigger, cursor? Or are you just limited to, like, one at a time? Probably limited to one at a time. I mean, I've tried all the buttons, and I didn't see any, like, make the cursor bigger buttons. You know? Okay, it should be now normal, right? Okay. Make an up right here. Okay, look, I think we had some nice ideas here, but if... Oh wait, maybe if I delete this. The game won't work. Game don't work. Maybe I'm not lining it up properly. Let me see. No, I'm lining it up properly. It's just that it's a little buggy. By which I mean that I can't put a fucking door in my level anymore. Well, this was a nice idea, but what are you gonna do? It didn't work. It all you know, as serviceable as this editor seems, like as far as UX is concerned, like works okay. If it's gonna just suddenly break and fuck up my whole level, then I don't know that I can... Okay, you know what? Let's try one thing. I'm gonna hit save. Also, I can make this darker. Why would I want to do that? That looks bad. This doesn't look great. Oh, okay. It looks differently when you're in the game itself. Why is, like, full bright... There's such a departure from, like, full bright to, like, anything lower. Well, I guess even full bright is kind of on the dark side, you know? I tried saving. I'm going to get the fuck out of here. Exit dungeon. Unnamed dungeon. Build. And we'll see if it fixed itself. Looks like the answer is no. It did not fix itself. Upon, like, save reload. No, it's still weird about adding stairs. Yeah. Let's see if the door works. Door works. So there's that. The door works. Perhaps that's enough for some folks. That the door works. Yeah, I think this is about a 2 out of 5. I think that the most unfortunate thing I can say about it is that even if this were to work perfectly, even if it were to be perfect, and like have a abundance of elements, Zelda enemies, Zelda items, etc., bosses, etc., etc., what people would be making would probably have to tend to be like at least 10-20 minute experiences in order to feel like that classic Zelda flavor. It's hard to make a short Zelda thing, at least in this style, feel meaningful, you know, at least in this NES style, feel meaningful. You gotta have a little bit of backtracking, you gotta have a little bit of like, oh, I've seen this room again, I'm returning to this room, but with a new thing, lets me do this thing. You gotta have a little bit of that rigmarole, which means that each level that you get is gonna take around a half hour, and you know, I'm not sure that works as well as like Mario Maker levels, which, you know, range from like 20 seconds long to, you know, 3 minutes long if you're like an especially long traditional level, or, you know, maybe longer just based on like how hard it is on like very extreme cases. And even those levels, some people just see and they just nope out of, you know. I will play a long level if it comes, you know, and I know that Highway, a viewer of mine, likes to make them, so, you know, I'm fine with them so long as they're interesting and, you know, I feel like I'm making progress. But, you know, a lot of people, they look at a long level and they go like, nope. And this game is built around long levels, so, and a theoretical Zelda level, a theoretical Zelda maker would also be built around long levels, so you can sort of see where I'm going with it. I don't think this idea is as good in reality as it sounds on paper. Even if Nintendo were to do it, I feel like there's a reason they haven't, and you know, maybe they've tried it internally and they just realized like, oh, this doesn't work half as well as Mario Maker, you know, despite the promise, despite like how Mario and Zelda are both right there as far as like, oh yeah, the classics, you know, the ones that you gotta do. Honestly, I think a Kirby Maker, or, you know, something like any other 2D platformer maker, right? Like a Mega Man maker, like a Donkey Kong Country maker, would probably be like 1,000 times better. Saying 1,000 again. would probably be like 1,000 times more viable than any Zelda maker will ever be. And, you know, thinking about it, realizing it here tonight with y'all, has been a bit sad. And I also think this game has a whole host of technical issues. A limited repertoire, a limited array of items that limits the appeal and limits like how creative you can get with levels. And also it's a fair bit glitchy, and the sound quality is not great. It's like 11 p.m. Perfect time to end a stream. Thank y'all for joining me. I'm gonna pull up my schedule and say again, next week's Thursday stream will be checking out Tears of the Kingdom. It'll start around 11 p.m. Central because that's when Tears of the Kingdom will unlock. But, you know, before then, there will be the Friday stream, which will be viewer levels. That'll start at 6 p.m. tomorrow evening. That'll be fun. Friday evening viewer levels, as I always do. Used to do 2 streams of Mario Maker a week, but I'll tell you, I feel like 1 stream is about what I like, you know, and I don't ever get tired of it just doing 1 stream a week. And it's always like the most hoppin' stream every week, which is a fun way to start the weekend. So I'll be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central for Friday evening viewer levels. That'll be fun. Maybe we'll do something fun after that, actually. I was thinking, you know, I usually like to spend Friday nights watching the streams of another streamer that I like, named Dan Reichert. But he's not going to be doing a stream tomorrow, so maybe we'll do a long one. Maybe after the Mario Maker, we could do something else. Give me a day to think about it. Maybe I'll think of something. Honestly. Give me a day to think about it, maybe. But we'll see, honestly. After that will be the Monday stream. Pikmin 1, 2, and 3 all at once. We're pretty far into those games. We've gotten the any percent of Pikmin 2 finished, and we've gotten like all the caves before the Wistful Wild finished, which means I think there's just like 3 caves left in Pikmin 2. There's only like 5 parts, 6 parts, something like that, left in Pikmin 1. And Pikmin 3, there's just like a very few number of fruits to get, plus the final boss. Next 1 or 2 Pikmin stream could be the last. That'll be good. Let me see who to raid right now. Glower is doing Mario 64, looks like. That's cool. Let me see who else is online right now. Glower is a Paper Mario speedrunner. Also does other stuff, I suppose, when on occasion. You know, when he feels like it. Birdie V is doing Smash Brothers Ultimate. I almost did a Smash Brothers stream tonight. That was definitely on my docket of like ideas, but this came up and I wanted to have a look at it, and I think it was a good thing to look at, even if it didn't quite land. I quite enjoyed hanging out and scrutinizing this game. Let's go with Glower. Let's go with Glower. Glower's given us a couple big raids in the past, and Glower is very chill and cool. That sounds good to me. Alright, folks. I will be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central. I have a bunch of things I want to talk about that I didn't talk about tonight that I'll talk about tomorrow, I am sure. Look forward to that. I'll see you then. Bye, folks.